Hey, welcome back to C++ and welcome back from break. Let's see what our assignment here today is for example 4 in Unit 5. To make telephone numbers easy to remember, some companies use letters to show their telephone number. For example, using the letters, the telephone number 438 can be shown as get loan. In some cases, to make the telephone number meaningful, companies might use more than 7 letters. For example, 225-5466 can be displayed as call home, which uses 8 letters. So what are we doing? We're writing a program that does the following. It prompts the user to enter a capital Y or a small case y to begin conversion or any other input to quit. Prompts the user to enter a telephone number expressed in letters and outputs the corresponding telephone number in digits. Processes only the first 7 letters if the user enters more than 7 letters. Okay, and outputs the hyphen after the third digit, then allows the user to use both uppercase and lowercase letters as well as spaces between words. And lastly, processes as many telephone numbers as the user wants while allowing them to quit after each conversion. Okay, so this is painfully obvious. This is going to be a long code, okay? So let's declare our variables first. Well, obviously, we're going to need a letter. So a letter is going to be a char value since, why make it a string, right? So under variable declarations, I'm going to declare variable char letter. Now I'm going to enter variable number of letters. So we'll make it an int because it has to be 7 or less, right? And lastly, we'll have their response. So the response is going to be a yes or a no, okay? Okay, really that's all the variables we need. So now I'm going to ask the user to give me a yes to convert a telephone number to digits and enter any letter to terminate. Okay, so let's see. There's going to be a C out. Okay, here we go. So they're either going to do a capital or small letter Y to convert the telephone number. That's right here under the first thing that you want to do. I put some of it on the next line. Now on a new line, I'm going to say enter any other letter to end this. So obviously whatever the user puts in is going to be his or her response. So now we come to our while loop, and this is where it starts getting complicated. So first, is the response a Y? So it's either going to be a capital Y or a small y. So I'm going to put while response is equal to Y. We're using the double equals because we're evaluating equality. Is what's on the left equal to what's on the right, okay? And then we have an or situation because one of the two can be right. Or the spot either is capital Y or little y. So now a while loop does not have a closing semicolon, right? Next thing that we see is an opening curly brace. So the next thing I'm going to ask the user to do is to enter a phone number using letters. So whatever the user gives me, I'm going to assign it that letter. I put in a blank line here. Now comes my loop, at least the one that I'm going to use to see how many letters that the user has entered. He can enter up to 7 letters, correct? And we stop giving the phone number after the 7th letter. You go run through the loop as long as there are less than 7 letters. Okay. So I'll initialize the number of letters to 0. So when they're through the loop, we'll print out their corresponding telephone number. Now I'm going to stack another while loop in there. We're going to check the number of letters to double check that it's less than 7. Now once again, we're going to do an opening curly brace. So every time we go through this while loop, we're adding 1 to the number of letters variable. And now we're going to switch the letter. The first, we're going to use a switch case. So there's my switch statement. Obviously, open curly brace again. So we're going to check, is it little a? Is it little b? Or is it little c? Okay, if it's capital B, we'll call it case capital B. Or we'll try case C. If any of these situations are true, is it ABC, little ABC, or is it big ABC? We're going to give them a 2. So I'm going to put in here a break, and this will take you to the end of the switch statement. Okay, what's the next situation? Well, little def or big def, right? Lowercase def or uppercase def. So let's put them in there. Case D, case E, case F, now case big D, case big E, and case big F. So any in these second group of 3 letters is pressed, we're going to tell the user that their number is 3. Then we'll put a break. Now we put in our break statement. So what's our next set of 3? Lowercase g, lowercase h, lowercase I, now uppercase GHI, H, and I. So there's your second set of letters to push out 4. So if the users put any of these numbers in, we're going to tell them the number is 4. Okay, and we'll break out of this loop if one of these is correct. Okay, what's our next 3 letters? AKL. Lowercase j, lowercase k, lowercase l. Now we do the uppercase. Now we'll do the L. All right. If any of these are true, what number is it? 5, correct? Now, if the new user chose any one of these, we can just break out of the loop. Okay, let's take our next three. M, N, O. Case N. Case O. Uppercase M. Uppercase N. Uppercase O. So either these are true, any of these are true, our correct answer would be 6. And then we'll break. Okay, I'm going to run out of numbers here, so I'm going to do 4 for 7. PQRS, all right? There's case P, case Q, case R, case S, capital P, capital Q, capital R, capital S. So if any of these are true, we want to print out 7. And if these are true, we're also going to jump out of this loop. So we'll take TUV for our 8. Do U. Do V. Do capital TUV. Capital U. And capital V. If any of these are true, we're going to say that the answer is 8. Then we're going to break out of the loop if this is correct. Now our last case is 9. So we have W, X, Y, and Z to finish this off. So lowercase w, lowercase x, lowercase y, and lowercase z. Now these are in uppercase. Uppercase X, uppercase Y, uppercase Z. So any of these are correct. I'm going to print out a 9. So now I'm going to end this loop. So I'm going to do my closing curly brace here. So now I'm going to enter the case. I'm going to put in my dash here because after the first 3 letters are supposed to have a dash. So we have our counter up here of how many letters we've entered. Each time we go through the switch, we add 1 to the number of letters. So now we're going to check to see how many numbers we have. Come all the way down, down, down here. Line 101, right? So we're going to check to see if we entered in 3 letters yet. If this is true, we're going to provide a hyphen. And then whatever the letter variable that the user puts in will be the next thing. So they can continue with the loop, but we're just going to produce the next letter. So we've done the uppercase and lowercase and spaces between words. Process as many numbers as the user wants while allowing them to quit after each conversion. So what happens here? When are we jumping out of this loop? This while loop ends as soon as they've reached 7 numbers. So what do we do once they've reached 7 numbers? What's our next thing? We're going to put a line, and we're going to ignore anything else they put in there. We'll put a sin ignore, and then we'll put an extra line in there. So this is what happens when they reach 7 numbers. We're going to ignore the rest of them. So now we're going to give them a chance to do this again. Say yes to do another loop. So if they put in a Y, we do another number. So I'm going to tell them if you want to quit, enter in any other number. So whatever they're going to enter, we're going to enter in as a response. And now we're going to put a blank line in there. So let me get rid of this. Okay, right here's the end of our while loop. Okay. So let's double check our code real quick. We'll make sure we've got it matching loops. So we have one opening curly brace, 2 opening curly braces, 3 opening curly braces, 4 opening curly braces, 1 closing curly brace, 2 closing curly brace, 3 closing curly brace, and 4 closing. If you have 4 opening, you need 4 closing. Always double check that. Now we're going to run our code, see if we did everything all right. So I want to convert a phone number or terminate. So I'll do yes to do a phone number. Enter a phone number using letters. So I'll put in here, call home. Okay, they tell me the corresponding phone number is 225-5466. To process another telephone number, give me a Y, otherwise any other letter. So put N for no. That ended the program. So if yours doesn't work, check to see the line number is telling you here. Then line it up with the line number here. Okay? And see where you got wavy red underlines. That's usually an indicator. If you get wavy red underlines, that something is not correct. Okay? Any questions, issues, or concerns, let me know. See you next time.